All right, next one.
This is a Pokemon card. He's got a lot of HP. Wow. Gonna go Oshawott.
Oshawott. Oh my god, that's Oshawott. That's exactly him. Uh-oh. Background music faded. Background music faded. Well, guess it's time. Hello, guys. Hello, everybody. And welcome to the second episode of Boost Yourself, guys. Thanks, everybody, and welcome. If you're not familiar with the format, I'll tell you real quick, guys. Boost Yourself is a podcast made for bringing more light to people that deserve light but probably didn't have enough. Yeah, I'll tell you just a quick thing. If you want to find something that Scarlett Johansson said, you find plenty of interviews, but you probably find just my interview, for example, of Nazareno, which was my first guest. So I'm here for like bringing more attention, insights into the life of very interesting people you probably already know because they are on Twitch, they are maybe streamer, maybe video game players. And yeah, we will all get enriched by knowing more of their story and of their goals. Also, why not? How did they start? I'm here for bringing you all this information. But let's talk about the guest of today. He's been around for more than 15 years in the video games world, into our world, the one of the video games on the internet. Um, yeah, I think his channels can be considered like a documentary of modern times and like modern days. Um, of course, given the size of the guest, we will have to talk also about forbidden memories. So, guys, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you, Syura. Hello, Syura.
That
Oh, I can hear
I've never
you.
seen this guest before. That's crazy.
Oh my
What's up?
god. How's it going? How's it going? Welcome to Boost Yourself.
It's going. Thanks for having me.
Oh,
It's
nice.
an honor. I never get invited to things. This is nice.
Oh, sorry. Is it your first interview?
No. I mean, like for something like this, honestly, yeah.
Oh, well, that's nice. I mean, from somewhere you'll have to start. When you'll be on David Letterman's
Yeah.
show, you'll remember about being on Layoso podcast.
And all the pressure's on.
Yeah, the pressure's on. Oh, let's start with one thing. How are this is going? How are you doing, like, in this period?
Like today, this week, this year,
Yeah, this week, like, this period, this month, this week.
Well, somehow I've been managing to wake up at the right time of day, like for like a week in a row. That's pretty good.
Hey,
Had to have a few naps to get there, but we got there. It's always good.
collecting goals. So if you waking up is the first thing of the day, and if you're doing it correctly, everything gets better.
Oh yeah.
All right, I let's remove the tooth already because like I struggled so much to find something about that. The only thing I found was like a was like an Indian singer. Where does Shura come from? Where did you get
All right.
inspiration?
So I needed a new username because for like I kind of changed my names online. I changed my online identity. And I needed a username, and there's this game that is not super well known. It's called 100% Orange Juice. It's kind of like an anime style Mario Party is how I would describe it. And I just stole a name from a character I liked in the game, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. So it's not the Indian singer because like these days I was
No.
going crazy. I need to find out why it's Shura, but no Indian singers.
No, but sometimes when you search your own name, you find a lot of interesting things out there. That's for sure. Like accounts on social media from people who have like they used your name before or something.
Yeah, I also found something like that. Many Shuras all around the world.
I got
And
a short crazy story if you want me to share it now that's similar.
yeah, sure, go on.
I remember a long, long time ago, I started getting a ton of like there was somebody who made like some sort of music and put the wrong thing in their tags and put my old username in the tags. And then for the longest time, like anytime you searched my username, like that would show up, and it's completely unrelated. And it's like I don't know why they accidentally put that, but they put that. You know.
Yeah, I mean, the very, very random thing, very random.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, honestly, nice background, nice background. Is that your room?
This is it's I live in a one bedroom apartment and it's got a massive living room and I just kind of used the living room for everything. So so it is a bedroom. It has my streaming setup, my PC and everything.
Well, nice posters, though, nice posters. They look
Yeah.
pretty huge, massive.
They are. It's a large calendar. I don't know how to just like how big the pages are, but it's an artist calendar. Uh been getting pages. I've been getting this calendar since like 2017, and whenever there's like pages I like and I have motivation to put things up, uh, I'll just put new pages up on the wall. And there's
Ah,
like 9 years of posters to put up if you want to, so
oh, so it's
works
going
out.
to increase in size.
It could, I got you can't see it, but I got more space. Like all through here, I could put stuff up. You know,
I mean, maybe there will be room
pretty good.
for our picture of Boost yourself in your room.
Maybe, maybe
Who knows? Maybe if this will
hang
bring
it
you to
right
the
above,
glory.
right here behind me.
All right, Shira, let's start to get into the real deal. I don't know if the viewers, if who's watching knows that you're like an incredible museum of video game content. Absolutely incredible. Your main YouTube channel has more than 1,200 videos. The first one from 15 years ago. I mean, you've been posting content since 15 years. Like, 15 years ago is more than half of my life. That is genuinely crazy and impressive. Also, I have to mention 150 videos on the secondary channel. Guys, exclamation mark Syura to follow Syura in his social channel in social channels. Sorry. So I'm asking you, so many videos. The first one from 15 years ago. Why did you decide to put the Pokemon battle on YouTube? What did you drive there? Did you have any particular inspiration?
I can tell you exactly who I battled against. I mean, you wouldn't know the person, but I remember that. Uh, I think I probably just wanted to test an upload at the time to like see if I could even upload something. What's the date on that video by chance? Because I can find it really quick.
15 years ago. I mean, it was probably on 2010. Makes sense.
Yeah, June 1st, 2010 sounds about right.
I mean, 15
Yep.
years from now, we're celebrating the anniversary.
Yeah, I had gotten a laptop through school. I got a free laptop, and I never had access to like usable internet above dial-up speed before then. And I was able with that laptop to steal Wi-Fi from across the street. Stole somebody's Wi-Fi, so I was probably just seeing if I could upload anything, because that's around the time I started getting into more YouTube and watching. I watched a lot of Let's Plays at the time because I wasn't able to really experience YouTube before then. It was the times when you had to like just leave the video up for 30 minutes and let it preload to watch like 1 minute and then pause it and then go do something else, come back another 30 minutes later, watch another minute. So it's a massive upgrade. And then I started wanting to obviously make some content myself. Obviously, I was never one of the big creators on YouTube, but it was fun making stuff for a while. That's for sure.
Yeah, but just to clarify, how old were you in 2010?
I was probably 15 then, so probably half my life has been putting some things on online. So
That's
yeah.
genuinely impressive. Also, you were inspired from let's plays. I mean, walkthrough stuff like that, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, back in the day, you could put, for example, uh, what were they called? Like video responses on YouTube. There were a lot of people who would just put their sits view count Let's Play episodes as video responses to like Chugga Conroy videos back then. I did some of that too, you know, like you would put some of the videos as responses there. And I mean, it's kind of impressive even thinking about it this way when you have like 100 views on some random, you know, gameplay videos that you did from years ago. Like it's not large scale, but it's still cool. So
No, no, I absolutely agree. That was like I like dived into that days. I used to make content as well, like about that time. Yeah, it was probably what a kid seeing that what like probably had the feeling I have to do my part. I do the same thing of the people I follow. I want to contribute to that. So at least this was for me. I guess that was the same for you. I mean, it started as a test apparently. Now we know.
oh, everybody made that kind of content. That's what everybody wanted to do back in like the early 2010s because you could just play games and put it on YouTube and become famous that way. You know, I never made it big off of that, obviously, but you know, most people don't. But you know, it's still at the end of the day fun to make the things if you're enjoying what you're doing.
I mean, you say you're not big, but let me tell you, your most viewed video is over 300K views. Like, let's not forget about it. I think it. Do you remember it? First of all,
Which one of those? Which one of the two? Because I have two that have a lot of views, and they're
the
both extremely random.
the one of the eyebrows of the
Yeah,
anime about the
yeah.
eyebrows.
Story of that is I just couldn't find a clip of it on YouTube, so I put my own on there. Every once in a while, it would randomly get shared on like Reddit or something, and I'd get like 10,000 views, and then it just keeps coming.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Yeah.
it also anticipated like modern times because nowadays you see many clips of videos like that. Like I would say the current meme, like you anticipated the meme like 11 years 11 years ago. Like maybe the guy that invented the memes, can we say that?
Like YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, like YouTube Shorts. Yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of like that.
Hey, I will say that my most viewed video on YouTube has like 100% like average watch time, which you know most people can't say that. I mean, it's different because it's a 15-second video, but still. I actually met somebody one time who, like a friend at the time, who said like I was telling them about my YouTube at some point, and they said that they'd actually watched that video before they knew me, so that was kind of cool.
Well, that
But
that is
again, it's
something. That is something. It's like,
but
did I ask you a selfie?
yeah, but again, it's like the no effort content. It probably took me 3 minutes to put up there, so
Yeah, I mean, getting a
yeah.
high level of like followers or viewers like changed throughout the years. Like, did you ever follow any logic for like trying to capture more attention, or you were just fine? I do my own things. I don't care at all.
I've never been good at the, advertising or reaching out part. Oh, I just got a gifted sub to some random channel. Sorry. Yeah, I've never been good at the whole advertising part. Even on Twitch, I just kind of, click the go live button and hope people click. I used to use more social media, but Twitter is not a good place. I haven't been active on that site for like 6 years. Uh, Honestly, for the best. But back then, really, all I would do with my YouTube videos is I would just link them to some friends, and most of the people commenting back then are just like people I knew in real life and stuff. And
Well,
then eventually you get to a point where you do pull some random people sometimes, and then it just keeps slowly growing from there. People come and go over the years, but I've had a lot of people who've stopped by at some point, which is kind of cool. So
yeah, I mean, makes sense at least for yourself as well, because you don't need to chase like the trend of the moment. You don't need to do that thing. You just do what you like. It's chill. It's chill. It's fine. It's, I mean, also really appreciable. Also, 1200, yeah, is that correct? 1200 videos, no, yeah, 1200 videos on YouTube. I mean, it could be a museum. You played like everything, but if you had to build your own gallery, like, okay, Shura's museum, like, which videos would you show to the people that like come at you and okay, tell me about your story on YouTube? What would you show
there's
them?
obviously things there's obviously things I've done that I put a lot more effort into than others, as you can probably tell. Uh, like my second most viewed video it took me probably 30 minutes combined to like fully do, and it has 300,000 views, mostly from people in India and Pakistan who remember this game. You know, um, I have a lot of like older Let's Plays that I put a lot of effort into. Um, but all this is like really old content. But I thought some of them were really good at the time. I thought they just, you know, I found Twitch to just be a lot easier to kind of get to be seen, if that makes sense. So I started moving over to just doing Twitch and barely making YouTube content. But there's just a lot of cool stuff. Like I have a lot of speedrun PBs of runs that I was like somewhat proud of, and then I have a lot of Osu Taiko plays that even looking back today, I'm still impressed I was able to like play that well.
Well, so you didn't move to Twitch like 8 years ago. Just to tell you, maybe you probably didn't know, but I did my studies. You started Twitch 8 years ago, so it was just for like because you felt that it was the like platform of the future, or more because oh damn, YouTube stuff, it's too time consuming.
YouTube was a lot of effort for like hardly any payout, if that makes sense. Like I was putting a lot of planning, a lot of time into videos, even if it's just like a let's play. There's still a lot more effort that goes into an episode of that than you realize. And when you put in a lot of effort and get like 3 views, it's eventually it's a little demotivating. And I was just becoming more active watching on Twitch at the time. The first thing I got into was watching Pokemon speedruns, and then eventually wanted to try it myself. And then that kind of started streaming on Twitch, and just being active around some streamers gets you at least a starting point where people like recognize your name, and then some of them might like follow you in there and stop in. And that's kind of how it all started on Twitch. It was actually like 11 years ago, I would
11?
say.
Are you sure? I saw you were like 8. I mean that it's many years ago. Many years ago.
Yeah, it's hard to count at this point. Like it's so long. I know it's 2014 because when I was going through doing all the moving highlights over earlier this year, like you get to watch back all those when you move them over. So I got a bunch of like really old highlights that I got to rewatch, which is cool.
So Pokemon speedruns. Pokemon speedruns. Anybody in particular? Maybe Worster?
Um, Worcester was the first one I remember seeing because I watched him at a Games Done Quick. It was Pokemon Gold, the glitched any percent run, and that run was like horrible. Like it was, I don't even think he like finished the game. It was one of those bad runs, but the route was really cool, and that was actually the first category I tried to run was I think it was either gold or silver any percent when like a new route came out and I heard about it, and that was the first thing I ever tried to the first speed run I tried to do. I don't think I even recorded or streamed it at the time, but Like that was the first thing, and then eventually I got into watching Gunner Maniac back when he was grinding Pokemon Yellow every single day back in like 2013, 2014. I watched him for probably like 3 or 4 months every day,
I
and
mean,
then I decided to run myself. So
I dive in the memories. I dive in the memories. Uh, so it's the summary is you're doing anything since many years, but have you always been constant in like doing content and
oh
stuff?
no, no, I take. I mean, consistency's been something like it's really important, but I've struggled with it. I mean, it happens all the time. Like you get burnt out from something. When I was speedrunning Pokemon, I got burnt out and quit the game and need to find something else to stream. Like I've moved back and forth between games a lot, and that's part of the reason why like growth has always been kind of difficult because you stream Pokemon speedruns for like a year straight, and then suddenly you just play something completely different for a year straight, and then I decide I want to do speedruns again, and then all your audience already left. Like, but I've switched like the focus a lot of times, and I've taken a lot of breaks, but I'm fairly consistent, like lately at least. So
Okay, so you think that not being consistent didn't help you in like I don't know, what were your goals when you started YouTube? When you started, I mean, let's not say when you started because you started that because of the
yeah,
reasons you were the guy that watched YouTube and wanted to be there. But when you first thought, okay, I can do something with YouTube, I can do something with Twitch, what were your goals? What were your goals? And maybe did they change throughout the time? Do you have the same goal?
I think I had a lot more motivation back then than I do now in terms of like getting specific things to happen. Like honestly, and I'm not shy with saying this. Honestly, on my stream nowadays, I really just do it to talk to people. But obviously, I want to play games at the same time and ideally get good times in my runs. But like back then, like I don't know. I just played the game. I had a lot of games I wanted to do runs of back then, and I did a lot of them eventually, which is pretty cool. Um, Eventually you always get like small goals that you work towards, or maybe you'll get a big goal that you put off for like 6 years that you finally do. um, I don't know, I guess I'm easily like, I don't know, easily influenced. Like I see something, I decide, oh, I want to do this because that seems cool. And I think my goal at first was just, I want to play this because it seems cool, and then as you get better at it, you're like, oh, I can push this run a little farther because I'm having fun with it. But there's just always way too many things to do that I have a hard time like pushing something a long way. I'll usually just find something else I want to do too. So
I mean, that's huge. So you never had like a goal, okay, I want to become a Twitch partner. Never had that thought in your mind?
partner would be nice, but it was never really a realistic goal. I don't think I don't think partner's even that important anymore with all the things they've added for normal streamers nowadays. It would still be nice, but never never really had a serious chance at it, so never took it seriously.
You never had maybe serious chances before coming to boost yourself! Exclamation mark Syura. Go follow
There we
him
go.
on Twitch and
There we
YouTube,
go.
guys. Don't miss this wonderful guy. Also, you stated you started Twitch for speedrunning. Like, did you try it also before Twitch, or like it was just okay? I was something on YouTube. On Twitch, I will switch to speedrunning.
That's pretty much what happened. I did a few random streams on Twitch that weren't like I did a few random streams before I started speedrunning. But when I say like I started Twitch at this time this day, that's when I started speedrunning, and I started with Pokemon Gen 2, Gold, Silver, as I said, and Crystal at first. So that's when I consider my start to Twitch. And I just honestly I needed something to focus on, and speedruns are good for that because I was running a long game. You know, you get 4 hours where you sit down, pick up the controller, and then just try to focus on the game. So
Well, I guess the time spent on a single run is like something really characteristics of you, and we'll talk like more in depth about it later. But do you identify yourself as as a speedrunner, or it's maybe too much? You're like more variety and stuff.
I would like to be, but like it's hard for me to like find a ton of time and manage time these days. Like I have a lot of games I would want to get back into speedrunning. I would like to be more of a variety speedrunner as well because there's a lot of games that I used to run. Like if you like you said, if you've looked at my history, you've probably seen 20 different games on there. I'd like to come back and run some of those, not all of them, but nowadays I just kind of stream. Like I don't take it super seriously. I just stream.
I mean, I understand it also because like not setting the bar too high helps you to enjoy more. I don't know if you agree with this.
I suppose, yeah.
Nice. That's nice. And if you have to like pick your top moment of all these 15 years of video games on the internet, what would it be? Top moment or top 3 if you have more. Up to you.
Um I would I could probably name 3. So the first time I uh was in a marathon. It was the Pokemon Speedruns Marathon, I think 2015. I got to run a couple games in that, which that was pretty cool. Actually had a for the standards of the game, I had a really awesome marathon run of Yellow, which it was known as like a really difficult game back then. I actually went uh, quotes deathless, which is kind of cool. Uh, and actually that run was at like 6 in the morning U.S. time, like it was like graveyard time of day, one of the worst times. And I guess people just really like Pokemon Yellow because that was the second most viewed run of the whole marathon when it was live, which was pretty cool.
You're
And
not
the
an early
only
bird.
run, I mean, my sleep's all over the place, but it's like not a great time slot, and it was the second most viewed run of the marathon, which is crazy. And then probably the other two things are like the when I finished Forbidden Memories Hundo for the first time, because that was something that I wanted to do, and there were a lot of roadblocks that came along with that. But when I finally finished one, I was pretty happy for sure. And then the other one was the when I finished the Super Mario Sitso 2, because that was kind of a goal I had for like 8 years, but I never like really put in time to learn the games. The Sitso 2, by the way, is like 3D Mario speedrun marathon. It's 4 games back to back, 100%. It took me like 27 hours, but I spent like most of a full year of streaming trying to just practice the games to get good enough to do it in one sitting. And it was horrible. Like the whole most of that year of streaming and like that year in my life in general was like really rough. But being able to still finish it at the end, even if I got frustrated like at the very end, it was still like it's a goal I had for a long time, so I was happy to do it finally.
But
And
wait,
then I never touched Mario speedruns again.
was it segmented 27 hours or like real
Single
time?
segment. Single segment.
You played
I
27
did
hours in a row?
I did take like one 15-minute break like towards the end. But like there's a lot of downtime in those games, and also there's like 3, maybe 4 credits breaks like in the run itself. So you have just time to sit there in between games, and during credits I'd like go get a slice of pizza or go get some pizza from the fridge. Uh try to drink water. There was an issue where I bought some water. I bought like the. Do you know what Propel Fitness water is?
Yeah.
I don't know if they okay. Yeah, I bought like 2 or 3 of those, and, I have 1 left, and that's the only water I have left in my room, and we are about 2 or 3 hours into the last game of the Sitso 2, and I just try to open this water bottle during credits, and it just does not open.
Oh no.
And I spent, like, the next, like, 8 hours just trying to open this water bottle, and it just would not open.
Oh my goodness. Panic. Panic moment.
And I'd been awake, like, 20 hours at that point. I'm just trying to open this water bottle. Oh, it was a mess.
Oh my god, that was a nice, really nice and enrichment time for everybody to get to know more of how you started, of something about your path and everything. That's crazy. I think genuinely I am enriched by that. This is why Boost Yourself will get a boost from what you said. That is crazy. Um, yeah, like we will come back later, but stepping a little bit aside of the, like, let's say career you're facing, uh, I was just curious about one thing. You describe yourself as a guy with a horrible personality. This is not me. with a, with also a big bottle of water. Oh my god, this is bigger than anything I've ever seen in Italy. All right, hydration is important. Alternative would be
Yeah,
very happy
yeah.
with that. Also, yeah, as I was saying, you describe yourself with a guy with a horrible personality. I was just curious. Why did you say that?
I wouldn't read too much into that. I mean, I'm not always the most emotionally stable person. It feels like a lot of times when I try to like put something like cool in my bio or something, I'll just get depressed at some point later and then just delete it. Like I delete a lot of stuff and change it. So I mean, people have told me that like straight up. So we'll just use it as the bio. I haven't really got questioned about it before, but it's kind of the answer. Is people have said that. We'll just put it there.
Okay, so
You make a lot of haters over the years. It's
so
all good.
you were not that serious. It was just like more jokish. Can we say it's a joke? You don't
I
really
don't think
think
I'm
that.
serious. I don't think I'm serious with most things I say, honestly. Some people think I am sometimes, and they'll get the wrong impression, but I don't think I take much very seriously. So,
Well, I mean,
except my speed runs, I take them super seriously for sure. That's a lie.
speedruns are for men, absolutely. The other things are for kids. Like we started with the wrong foot. Like I asked you a bad thing about you, and I want to ask, what is one of your favorite aspects of yourself? What's something that you watch yourself in the mirror and you say, "Dang, this is what I
That's a
really."
harder question. This is a harder question than the last one.
It's not hard.
Um,
I talked shit about you, and now I want to like give you redemption.
oh god. Well, I mean, I struggle with finding good things to say a lot of the time, but like I've just been around. I've had a lot of things happen, so like I got stories to tell all the time. They might not always be the most exciting or most happy stories, but I always have things to say. My memory is really good. I have a really good random memory of things. So, like I pulled up that water bottle story from forever ago. I can just I remember a lot of random things. Like I'll remember specifics about a run from like 10 years ago sometimes. It
I mean,
helps for a game like Forbidden Memories as well, because like you don't really get much worse when you don't play the game for a week, because you just remember everything at that point.
that's a skill. That's absolutely a skill. Also, you probably received a RAM upgrade somehow, like in the past years to get that. All right. Well, also, I think me and all everybody in the chat knows you as Syura. Can we call you the content creator? Is it bad for you to be called the content creator?
I mean, that's kind of what I do. I mean, I just go here, click the start streaming button, and make content. people seem to like it. They stop by from time to time. So like, if they're entertained, then that's kind of the goal, I guess.
All right, all
So
right, all right. Also, just like to get more insights. Yeah, we know the content creator, but what about Syura, the guy in the real life? Like outside of like the internet thing, like do you do anything in particular in your life? Do you how do you describe your American life?
I've always kind of thought that like I'm kind of a completely separate person in real life versus online, mainly because I don't really like interact with people much in real life. I'm kind of just like antisocial, avoidant in real life. I kind of just stay at home, do my own thing. But like at this point, like, is it bad to say like my real life doesn't really like exist anymore? Like it's there. I just kind of work and then sleep and then come home and be this person online, if that makes sense.
No,
I work enough to get by, and then I try to at least like do things I'd like to do in the rest of the time.
I think it's not bad what you said. It's not a bad thing. Like not interacting. I guess it's also a good thing being selective with the people you decide to dedicate your time because, like, yeah, you told it. You work, you
Time's
sleep.
really limited, yeah. In general, time's a like a limited resource, and let's say I have 9 things I want to do, but I already only have time for 2 of them. It's like, do I want to add more things that I have to, maybe pretend to have interest in to fit in real life, or can I just come home and try to focus on the things that I'd like to do? And I usually choose that if I can.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Like I think every worker's experience is that there are periods where if you decide to do something outside of the the triad work, eat, sleep, your rest of the week could be heavily compromised. So I I, I kind of get what you say. I kind of get what you say. I'm more extrovert, so I typically get more probably into talks with also maybe strangers. But yeah, when it comes to like doing things outside of work, eat, sleep, at some period I struggle as well to keep up with doing other things outside like my duties. Also, do you like your job? How how do you find
Um,
yourself?
I mean, right now I just work. I mean, I'm self-employed. I've told people I do DoorDash full time and similar stuff, so I just do delivery stuff through an app. It makes enough money if you want to do it, but the nice thing is you can just do it as much or as little as you need to make your money. I've done a lot of different jobs over the years, and they have all been bad for various reasons, or I just haven't been able to hold them because mental health reasons. Like my most recent job before this was really, really good money. I was making like $900 a week, but the problem was it was like 65-hour weeks, and like it just,
Uh,
it wasn't fun. Like I would try to go in at work at 4 a.m. Normal start was 6. I'd try to go in at 4 so I could do my 8 hours, get home earlier. So I would leave at like 3:30 in the morning, and I wouldn't get home sometimes until like almost 5 p.m. because they would just throw on more work. The company was so understaffed and had way too high expectations, but if you say no to their overtime and stuff, then, that's not going to look good. And I ended up quitting that job after only 2 months. I just couldn't deal with it.
yeah, I mean
But it was
money.
good money. It was good money. But money's not everything if you don't have time to do anything with it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Money's good, but like if you have to cut everything else, in your life, it's probably a good choice to
Yeah.
have moved away. And I mean, also you also look happy with that, but um, do you like plan to? You said you had a lot of jobs, so you probably have a lot of experience of the different jobs. Like, do you have any project? Maybe you aim to something else.
I got a small bit of experience in a lot of different areas, I guess. Like I have a computer science degree, and I worked in the field for about a year and a half, realized it wasn't really for me, kind of made the decision to like get out of that and figure out something else to do, and then probably a mistake because I mean, you don't realize that when you go through it, but you realize after it's like, "Oh no, now I have nothing because I only have experience in one thing and I don't want to do that one thing anymore." So I thought about going back to school, didn't really have the money for that. Thought about just applying to other random stuff. Uh, I got like basically, I went to a job interview and they were kind of just spending the whole time almost like making fun of me and trying to be like, well, why would you want this job if you just came from like working a developer job making 60,000 a year? Why would you want to come work in an office and make 20K? Like, what's wrong? Like, they didn't take me seriously, but
Red
I was looking
flag.
for anything to get different at that point. Like, and then later on, I decided, well, I should probably try to get back into like the field I at least have knowledge in. But at that point, it's like almost too late because companies aren't willing to take a chance on someone who's been out of the field for 4 or 5 years. And it's really hard nowadays because all the tech jobs, all the resumes don't even get read by humans unless they get past the screening because you have so many applications. And I
Well,
just kind of figured, well, I can make enough money to get by doing this stuff, so I'll just keep doing that, see how it goes. And then every once in a while, I'll apply to some new jobs and it goes nowhere. And then I just, I'm chill with what I'm doing now, but it's a lot of stress still, but there's always going to be stress. You
do
just got to deal
you
with it.
do you ride a bike or you have like another vehicle?
I got a car. My car's
Oh,
fully paid off, which is nice. So no
also,
extra expenses there.
yeah. At least you're not sweating while you're doing it. I mean, you sweat,
I'm
but
not
not
I'm
as
not
much.
broke, but I'm not broke, but I'm in a spot where like if I don't work for a month, then I'm gonna be broke. So there's always the stress of like I have to at least be motivated enough to like work enough to break even is all.
I understand it. I understand it, Shura. I mean,
Yeah.
best of luck. When you told before that it will be tough to come back to like a work you used to do years ago, I want to keep the door open because if you feel like you want to do that, why not trying, if you would enjoy that, why not trying? I know it's hard, but chances are almost never zero. Maybe you find a company that needs to hire people that have even a little bit of experience in that, and maybe that's where you can like dig something. So just
Hey, when this
to keep a
podcast
little
gets
bit of
big,
positivity.
if there's anyone watching this, I might have a business email somewhere linked in my in my socials. Who knows?
Yeah, exclamation Shura to get his LinkedIn account.
Yeah, might have a business email if you got any job offers.
All right, all right. I wanted to close this with two more questions. The first one is how is living in the USA? I'm very curious. I live in Italy, completely different culture, different system. Like, do you like it? Do you like your country, the living there? How's there? Did that influence your life? Maybe you think that living in another place would have been easier or harder?
So I don't know how it is for other countries, but I know the US, it's like so different depending on where you live. Like we have big cities and we got a lot of open space. So you'll have completely different experience if you live in the middle of nowhere versus versus like a big city. I've never lived in a big city. I've always been kind of like suburbs area, but I'm like 20 minutes away from like a pretty big city. So it's nice because it's fairly quiet where I live and there's a lot of places close by. Um, I mean, I don't have any strong feelings for the US in particular. I'm just kind of here. I wouldn't mind living somewhere else just to experience it, but it's not really, it's expensive to travel. It's not really feasible to just decide I want to move to Italy tomorrow. It's not really feasible. But I'd like to get out and explore more places. I've just never really had the ability to. But
Okay,
it's really nice because like it's just there's everything here that you could possibly want within like 30 minutes to an hour.
that's huge. And what about like XXL, like content? Like you drank water from something we use probably for having a shower. That was the amount we of water we get for a
It's a
shower.
it's a gallon if you know how much a gallon is. It's like 3.7 liters. That's
That's a
like
lot.
our like big size bottles for with milk and water and orange juice and stuff comes in that size. It's less waste than buying a whole bunch of plastic water bottles. You
Oh,
only waste one of these big ones, which is good.
yeah, that is something I really admire from for your
Only have to
country.
get a new water bottle like every once in a while,
Yeah, true.
every
But
couple days instead of 3 times a day.
also bringing it home should be like heavy, or you take just one.
Oh, so like I usually buy one at a time, but our cases of water, like if you buy a 40 pack, that's I mean those are heavy. Those are really heavy. So
Yeah. All right, Shira. I have prepared the game for you. I have prepared the game for you. But let me ask one more question. If you don't want to answer, we'll be fine. Uh, but I wanted to ask you that because I genuinely think it's interesting. But feel free to not answer because like in the past you stated that like you had to live in the car for a few months for a practical reason. I just wanted to ask, how do you remember the period, and like what were the main difficulties of that? Of course, if you don't want to
oh,
answer,
I'd okay, so I'd done it a few times, but it was only for like a few days at a time, or like let's say you go on a trip somewhere, but you don't want to pay for a hotel. You just spend the night in your backseat of your car. It's not too bad for a night or 2 nights. But when you have to think about doing it for, 4 months, it's a lot different and you try to like you have to definitely take some sacrifices on that. Like, it's not comfy. Like I'm pretty tall. I'm pretty tall, so I don't have room to fully stretch out. Like my back would be sore every day after a while. But it's a lot cheaper than renting here, and I did it to save up money to get an apartment again because I was coming out of a rough living situation and needed to get a place and didn't have enough money. So I was working full time the whole time, so I could like I worked at a grocery store, so I could, I could buy food on my breaks and like microwave something in the back and like honestly the days I was working were a lot better because, you're not in your car the whole day, but on my 2 days off every week, it's just you got to find things to do and it's tough. I downloaded oh, sorry, I probably can't say this, I'll get in trouble, but I managed to get Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories on my phone and I played that a lot.
something developed by a brand new
Yeah.
developer that offered it for free for sure.
Yeah, I can't say how I got it there. I managed to get it on my phone. It was a struggle, but we got it. Finished 100% run on my phone over the course of a couple months. It was kind of cool.
Wow, wow! It was made by your cousin, right? By your French cousin that sent you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, capture card to phone suggests from the chat. You probably had like a technological. But by the way, this it looks like you have a good memories of that. It was not that bad to live that in the moment, right?
It was better than the living situation I came out of, and I'll still say that. It was I enjoyed the 4 months in my car more than the like year before that. It's not. I mean, you get used to it. I mean, it sucks. The worst thing for me was I do almost everything online, so like when you don't have a PC for 4 months, that kind of sucks. Um, I would find places to shower. I didn't shower often, but I showered enough. So I went over to someone's place and showered and spent the night every once in a while, got a bed for a night. So it
Yeah.
wasn't horrible, and the whole time I was saving up to get a better place, so it worked out. And now I'm living on my own again, which is awesome.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Happy for that. Also happy you like got stronger from the period. Like it was tough, true, but also you got stronger, and like this is why this contributes to you being legendary, Mr. Shura. So yeah, big shout out, and hope you are ready for the game because guys, in Boost Yourself, for the first time we have a brand new screen. Look at this. It's always me and Shura. There's something in the
We have a
middle.
third guest. Third guest.
First guest, want to know the rules of the game?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know, you're mostly even in this interview, two main aspects of video games came out from you, or two main video games came out. One is Forbidden Memories. Like, Forbidden Memories is your current game, you're playing it since a lot of time. We will talk about it later. And Pokemon, because you started with that first speed run. So the game is basically I'm going to show you Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and you'll have to tell me which Pokemon do the cards resemble more of the first generations. Like, let's leave generation 6, 7, 8, just older Pokemons. Okay?
I'm most familiar with like 1 through 5 anyway, so that's perfect.
Perfect, perfect. So, Mr. Shura, hope you're ready. Like, if you're thinking too much and cutting you the time, I tell you, time's up. You have to say one Pokemon. Okay? Hope you're ready. 3,
Let me see if I
2.
can full screen this. Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
I think you'll see that. I can also tell
Yeah, it's
you
good.
what's there if you can see. So the game starts in 3, 2, 1. Guess the Pokemon from the Yu-Gi-Oh card. Let's go.
Well, it's a dragon. I would probably go like Latios, probably like a dragon that's on that kind of color scheme. First thing that comes to mind.
Okay, I'm the judge, so I say right or wrong. Okay, so
Do you
this is
want
right.
the first thing that comes to mind, or like think a little bit?
Uh, it's a mix. It's a mix. You have to
Okay.
pick. Like Latias. This
Okay.
is 1-0. This is okay. I tell this is okay. Let's go with the next one.
Well, he's kind of like a snake. What is that? I don't know. I don't know. I'll just the way he like rolls up. It's different. I'm gonna say Sandshrew. He could be a Sandshrew. I don't think
No,
so.
I'm not giving the right answer. This, like, I was thinking more like a Diglett.
At least I had the right type. You're close.
We're close. We're close. Let's go with the next one. This is fascinating.
Yeah. So like honestly, I'm gonna go with Groudon.
Oh, Groudon. Nice. This is
There you go.
exactly the Pokemon I was thinking about when I created this game.
Good.
I
Good.
thought, okay, I put NVIDIA and it's Groudon.
I was thinking dragons at first, and then I'm like, wait a minute, it's
No,
pretty good.
dragons are over. Dragons are over.
So he's. Oh, hold on.
It's practical.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just thinking. I'm gonna go Rhydon. Right on.
Oh, right on. I was thinking more about a Rattata. Looks more like a
Oh, okay.
Rattata, but
Tactical looks pretty big to me. I see the horn. That's what
yeah, I
came to
mean,
mind.
the horn is like I'll take it as a correct one. Let's go with the next one because you were probably used to animals, so take this.
Ooh.
Now it starts the
All right.
section where you need
So
to like say the first thing that comes in your mind.
like human-shaped magic users. Oh boy. I don't think there's a good answer for this, like at
Mm.
all. I can't think of anything. Gonna go with that one. Oh, who's that one?
Mr.
Oh, this
Mime.
is not even. Mine's not bad. I'm gonna go with Behem from Gen 5. He's a psychic type. It's so bad, you know.
We are digging into the dark web of Pokemon.
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Hope you're ready. Final free. I pray for yourself.
That's not a Pokemon card, but you have to pick Ghastly for Rick Ghastly. Is this from Deep Fried Mod?
I knew it. I knew it. You would have. That's correct, Ghastly, though.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
This is a Pokemon card. He's got a lot of HP. Wow. Gonna go Oshawott.
Oshawott. Oh my god, that's Oshawott. That's exactly him.
Good knowledge. Well, you can't say either of the Hitmons because that'd be unfair. I'll go with like Machamp.
Machamp, absolutely. Final one. You can be wrong with this.
Well, there's a seal in the picture, but that's cheating. I mean, we got to go with probably my favorite Pokemon's Parasect. Sure, we'll go Parasect. Paris and Parasect.
You identify
Saw some
yourself as a
emotes earlier.
Parasect.
I don't know what I identify myself as. I'd be a trainer that uses a whole bunch of cool things instead. Wait, why am I 3K defense? Am I a wall shadow?
Yeah,
Lab wall?
yeah. You were inspired by Labby Wall.
Lab wall. There we go.
All right, sure. I guess it's over. I mean,
Good card choice.
hope you appreciated the effort of putting Hulk Hogan into a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Yeah, that was it. That was it. We are ready for the final section of questions. Yeah, the leitmotif of this whole interview has been video games. But do you remember the first video game you played in your life?
I don't know if I played anything before then, but I got a Game Boy Pocket when I was 4, and I had Pokemon Red and Blue, and I had Tetris, of course, because of the Game Boy. And I think I had Battleship for Game Boy. So that would have been my first set of 4 games. I don't remember much because I was 4, but I do remember I played a lot of Pokemon and didn't really know what I was doing.
Well,
But that's my first exposure. Yeah, so.
Well, you started with Pokemon. Like I played my first one. I think I was about 16, maybe. So, like, no wonder why you started speedrunning it at 16.
There's a good chance that I never played a video game before that because I don't remember us having any kind of systems or anything like that back then. So I think it was my aunt who got me a Game Boy for Christmas, and that's what I had. So I still have it somewhere. I don't think it's within reach, but I still have that original Game Boy Pocket somewhere.
Oh my god, the relic from past times.
Yeah, I don't think it's here, sadly.
Like you could sell into a bid, like first video game played by Syura. Start of the bid, 100K.
I still have my Pokemon Red card. It's also not over here. This is the closest thing I got. I got Donkey Kong for Game Boy. This game's great, by the way. If you've never played this, it's really good.
No, I never played that, but yeah,
it starts off, you think it's going to be like the arcade Donkey Kong, like you got 4 levels from the arcade game. And as a kid, I couldn't figure out how to beat the 4th level. So like 2 or 3 years later, I finally somehow like randomly beat that level, and then I realized there's a full game behind it with like 100 levels, and like that was such a crazy feeling as a kid, you know?
Yeah, like maybe that I opened like something that it's bigger than me.
Yeah.
That kind of feeling. Also, always talking about video games. Um, I think we can state that Ozu played a role in your career as a content creator. Like, how did you get handling such a high level in that game? Like, please, you can tell everybody which level you gained with Ozu. The guitar, Japanese Guitar Hero. Can we say it's Japanese Guitar Hero?
It's a drum arcade game. So people call it like, oh, people who don't have much rhythm game knowledge will be like, oh, it's Guitar Hero with drums. I mean, I guess so. You get if you're playing on a normal drum, you have the center of the drum and then you have the outside rims of the drum. So it's two different colors and they all come down in the same lane. If you play on keyboard, you get two keys for each one. And it's one of those games where you just keep playing and you just keep getting better. And then if you just keep playing, you just keep getting better. And I didn't really have a limit to how good I was getting, so I just kept playing, kept having fun with it. Um, and I mean, I haven't played actively on that game for like 6 years, but I used to be. I wouldn't say like amazing at the game, but I was like I'm still impressed by some of the things I was able to do. There's a lot of players better. Like watch some of the top Japanese players; they'll blow your mind. But your hands hurt just watching. Like without playing, your hands hurt.
Have you also entered the community? Like, were you active there?
I was. I don't like the community for that game, and things happened. But I participated in a lot of tournaments for that game as well. I was mainly a tournament player. A lot of people play for ranks. Every score you get a certain number of what's called performance points, and the more points you have overall, the higher rank you are. I would never really play for ranks. I would play for just skill improvements and tournaments and completion a little bit. But I played in a lot of various small tournaments, and I got to play in the World Cup one year, which was really cool. Um, the U.S. team got top six, which feels really impressive. It's about how well we normally did. And we took 2 points away from Taiwan, who got second place. So that was really cool. And it wasn't like I was a bench warmer or anything. I actually played a decent amount. It was 3v3 with 6 players, and I played the fourth most maps. So I played a decent amount.
Like 10,000 hours? Is it too much?
Uh, I mean, I can see like my total playtime on the site, but it's not accurate because they used to not count unranked maps, and now they do. So I'm missing a lot of hours. But I played actively from 2014 through 2019. So I played like a lot. I would stream that game like 5 days a week, like 4 or 5 hour sessions, plus playing off stream. Like I played a lot for a long time.
Also, now it's the time for a question from the public because, like, in my Discord, when I told I was going to interview you, I received a lot of different possible questions for you. So, like, connecting to Ozu, which is a music game, can we say it's a music game, rhythm game?
Music game,
Alternative
yeah.
Alternative wanted to ask you if you do play any instrument in real life and if like playing Ozu was like a catalyst for playing an instrument or if you got into that because you were like already into music.
I was into music. I had never played an instrument. I still never have. I would like to get into drums, but it's not really like it's hard to start playing drums because you need something, but also I live in an apartment, so I can't really, just start drumming, have neighbors and all that stuff. Um, I played a small amount of Guitar Hero like a long time ago, and I wasn't good at it. And then I just never played any kind of music game for another 2 years. And then I found I used to play a lot on this like arcade flash game site that's been dead for 12 years, but but they had a lot of different games, and one of them was a Guitar Hero style game with a lot of really bad charts for songs and a lot of not great songs. But I met some people through that game, and they directed me to a different game, and then directed me to a different game, and then eventually found found the one I played the most of.
Wow,
But I was
that's
always into music and stuff. I just never played anything. I guess at a top level, it's what you think of. It's like, oh, this song is really good. I wonder if I can play this like on a game since I can't play the instrument. And then you hope somebody's made a chart for that song, and then you play it, and you're like, this is fun. That's how it starts, you know.
honestly great. Honestly great. Honestly great. Also, one more curiosity in the from the general world of video games. I mean, you've been here when like there were just single player games, sorry, or local co-op games. We love them, of course, but nowadays everything is multiplayer. You play online. What is your opinion on the games? Do you like the concept? Do you play any multiplayer games, or you just no
I
no?
will say it's becoming a lot harder to connect with people and finding stuff that you have in common when you don't play these kind of games much. I'm just not I was never into like the first person shooter genre, and a lot of like the popular games are first person battle royale type stuff. And I just never got into that style. I was never good at controlling or figuring out how to know where people are. I just never got into it. Um, I don't play much that's multiplayer. I kind of just stick to my own stuff. I guess RuneScape, but I don't play it as a multiplayer game. I just kind of play it to grind. And yeah, I mean, they're definitely popular games. I just don't really have much interest in anything new that comes out. Honestly, with friends, they'd definitely be fun. But most of my friends don't play this type of stuff either. So
Yeah, I get you. I get you. Like multiplayer games are very particular in thinking about like the most famous ones, battle royales, but also survivals are pretty common nowadays. Yeah, if you do not have already a foot into that, it's it's kind of hard even to start. So yeah, I get we stay the like the old guys. Back in my times, video games didn't have online, like stuff like that.
strategy games and platformers mostly. So like I just never got to experience much of like the other genres. Also, like growing up, I couldn't play M-rated games, and most of the shooters that people were playing were like M-rated games. So didn't have that ability early on.
Yeah, yeah,
Nowadays, there's a lot more like games in that genre that are more appealing to everybody. So younger people can get into that stuff a lot sooner.
yeah. That's
People are
also true.
insanely good at these too. You know,
That's true. That's true. The worst video game you've ever played? I know it's kind of
worst
striking
worst
question.
video game.
Yeah, tell us about that if you remember one.
What was the worst one? I think the worst experience I had playing a video game recently would be Ikari Warriors for NES. If you've not heard of it, it's an arcade port that's a really hard game, and it's really unfair, but it's also very boring as well. Like I like bad games if they have some redeeming quality to them, but if it's bad but it's also like boring, it's just not fun at all.
Yeah, also from the chat, comments arrived stating that yeah, they confirm it's bad. They confirm that game sucks. Also,
Imagine you basically hold forward and then scroll the screen a little bit and then die, and then repeat that 3 times and just keep making a little progress. And then after you die 3 times, you have to put in the continue code and then go forward a little bit and then die and then go forward again and then die and then until you beat the level. You know, that's the game.
Wow. I want to play that now after your sentences that made me want to play that just for fun, like
Maybe
witnessing
NES
badness.
just isn't my style, but I did not enjoy that one.
Yeah, yeah, of course. And just to tell one experience I had with bad games, I don't know if it's a bad game, but like I played a horror game recently, Escape the Ayuwoki, where like it's supposed to be horror game, but it's just weird. It's like you can do anything, and also the monster is not scary. But I mean, I guess it's more like my problem with that. The fact that I don't know how to play it, it makes it like very frustrating. Um, yeah, it's probably not that bad, but it's like one of my experiences with not enjoying the game, at least. I mean, it could not be bad because I don't know to play it, but yeah, not a good experience on my side. Also, Shura, real deal, real deal. Forbidden Memories. You know why we're here. You know why we're here. Forbidden Memories. Why do people like me and you still play Forbidden Memories after 24 years since it has been released in the Europe, US? Why? What do you
I,
think?
I don't know why, but this is like somehow one of the best games to stream because the community is like really dedicated and committed to it. Like it's the same people on all of these streams. Like in most of the chats, like we just go from stream to stream a lot of the time. So it's there's always someone on playing the game and you can always watch it and you'll run into a lot of the same people across streams too. Like it's crazy the difference between like me playing this game and me playing something else, just the people who watch. But it's like genuinely fun even though the game sucks a lot of the time. It's it's fun and there's like 7 categories I still want to improve my time in, you know? Like it's infinite goals, infinite content, and it's fun. It feels rewarding to beat the game every time. And like that's the biggest part of it. Like it just the game's so hard that like when you beat it, it always feels good.
Yeah, honestly agree. So you're like shifting it rather than the game itself by the community around it. But what's like the aspect of the game rather than that like attract so many people? Because a lot of people is attracted, especially from 15 cards. I think it's like genuinely the most viewed video game, more than Fortnite, like in South America. It's also
That's
has a lot of
impressive.
views.
And we've never really had like a massive consistent streamer like who's been like there's never been a guy pulling like thousands of viewers playing this game, like playing it all the time. I know there are some people who have played this game from time to time who get a lot of viewers, but they're not like playing this game every day. We've managed to somehow survive as a community with like just a bunch of small streamers for like years, which is like awesome. It's just a show of like how good the community is. But also like every time you play the game, it's different. I've always liked games that have a lot of like variance in the strats based on what you end up with. And like FM's perfect for that because every deck you're gonna get is different. All the drops you're gonna get are different. You have to adapt a lot. And I really like that. I used to play a lot of randomizers of other games to get the same effect. And like, it's just different every time, except you still lose every time, but it's a different way of losing every time.
All right, that's true. Also, big shout out to the fan community, which is wonderful. But and as you say, it keeps the game alive. But I genuinely think you're one of the biggest names in the community because you've been here around since a lot of time. You played a lot, especially like niche categories. You prefer you're more handled than 15 cards, but like, do you feel the love of the community? Does that mean something for you? Like when you play FM, do you feel like being loved
I've
But
never heard anyone in the community like say anything bad about me, so I think that's a good thing.
starting
So
point.
yeah, I mean, like another thing I like to try to do, of course, because we're a small community as well, is like how many people stream this game like per day? There's a lot of people who stream who are definitely on the small end, and like you just get in there, you just open up a stream one day, and it's like I follow the directory for Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories more than I follow like specific streamers a lot of the time. So let's see. Right now, who's live? You know, you have 6 choices right now, and I think 4 of them are doing some kind of speed run. So you can just click on one, go in there, throw some stuff around, chat for a little bit, and that also gets your name out there too. But it brings exposure to like both sides, which I think is good. I kind of make it a point to try to like interact with as many people in the community as I can to help them out and help the community out in general too.
Yeah, I think help is probably I don't know if it's an adjective or a verb. Like it's the word that represents you more in the Forbidden Memories community. Like I remember when you first entered to my stream when I like had 2 viewers and you still were there to help me. I like asked you some like does this take this equip and you were there and like you do with also other people because like when I hope in somebody's stream you're there for help. So I think that's what makes you like fully loved by everybody. And
We're addicted. That's all it is. We have to get our daily dose of FM. If we don't like watch 5 streams a day, then there
you
it is.
know this will probably be the intro of the YouTube video. We are addicted to a fan. We need that the daily dose. I like that. I like that. That represents us very well. One more aspect that we didn't mention that to me is very important, and I also think it helped the game keeping up, making that sense of community altogether. You had almost 100 Forbidden Memories race. 100. That's that's incredible. You basically raced with everybody in the community. Why do you like races so much?
I don't race that often anymore because like lack of time, and most people want races at night when I'm not available. But like personally, I find 15 card is more fun as a race than as a like grinding PB attempts. Because at some point you run into the problem where your PB is so good that now you're just trying to like hope you get lucky on one duel, win good drops, and then move on. I just think it's better as a race game. A lot of people kind of agree with that too. And there's a lot of people who just do a lot of races and not really grind attempts. Plus, it's fun for the group suffering aspect, you know, like like if we're doing a vanilla race and there's like 6 of us in there all not winning stuff, you know, we can share the pain, share the fun, and then we just hang out and talk about random stuff for the whole farm, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of empty time you have, like you need to socialize. So yeah, I think it's a
Can I
good
advertise
one.
something?
I think it's a good one. Also, guys,
Can I
extra.
advertise something quick?
Oh, sure, please.
Yeah, we're
Sorry.
we're having a race on Saturday. Uh, I think 5 p.m. your time. It's going to be no twin headed, no megamorph, no MBD, 15 card.
That's hardcore. Yeah, like
Still faster than vanilla by like a couple hours.
absolutely.
That's all.
Exclamation
That's
mark
all the
Syura.
advertising I got.
Don't miss this race on Saturday, 5 p.m. European time. If you wanna like have your first race with Shura, yeah, make sure to follow him and join him in the race. You will not probably win because like unless it's Lucario, the Lucario then could win it.
One of the
But
Brazil runners is going to win. Let's be
yeah,
honest.
Brazilians always win this game. They're too good. Also,
They're more dedicated than the Western community. I think. Like you said before, like maybe jokingly, but you said this game's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories is like more popular than like the popular games in Brazil and South America. I think there's more of a community in Brazil than the West has, which is crazy in its own right. Like they're really dedicated to.
Absolutely, they're awesome. They're awesome. But staying on Forbidden Memories, but stepping aside from speedrunning, like, have you ever had a FM project outside that in your
Um,
channels?
I mean, everything I've done on stream has been some kind of speedrun, but like I've done like some researching into stuff. Um, I've never streamed the research part because it's mostly staring at spreadsheets, but I've looked into the fusion table and I've been trying to find potential ways to get all the cards in an unmodded game without any kind of hacks. And so far, we have all but three. So in a normal 100% run, you can only get 689 out of 722. Um, the other cards are just unobtainable or would take 4,000 hours of farming to buy one card. And using some cheating, and by cheating I mean like banned glitches, we can get all the way up to 719 right now. Um, I don't know how to get the last three, so I'm kind of stopped for now. But if someday I ever figure out, or someone figures out a way to get the last three without it taking 12,000 hours, then maybe I'll make a big project at some point.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe.
you told me you made a lot of jobs. I didn't know you were making the researcher. I mean, this is for the Forbidden Memories duty. It's because it's your duty to do that. But yeah, I forgot you made that research. Big effort on that. So
Hasn't really, it's pretty meaningless, but it's something to at least, focus on for a little bit, and it'd be cool if it happened to get all the way.
all right, but I mean, Forbidden Memories is into the Yu-Gi-Oh container. Have you ever played, or are you passionate of other video games, or maybe TCG, or it's just a fan?
I played the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG a bit in like middle school, and I have some cards from back then, and that's it. I was never a competitive player. I never really played much, and I played a few of the Game Boy Advance games, and then I just never really thought about Yu-Gi-Oh again. And then one day, I just randomly saw a streamer that I was friends with playing this game, doing a speed run of it, and then I kept watching them for like a year, and then basically knew how to play the game myself without ever having played it, and then decided to play it myself.
Good
and
choice.
and here we are.
Good choice. Absolutely good choice.
It
So
was shout out to Win Sunrise One,
big shout out. Yeah, absolutely.
legendary FM speedrunner.
Like, he was in chat as well before. So yeah, if you're still listening us, wins, we love you. Absolutely. Also, thanks for being part of the Shiraz of the Shiraz like story.
Known him
uh,
since almost the beginning. We used to do Pokemon randomizers together. Me, Wins, and Arius did Pokemon randomizers in like 2015, and we're still all here.
long way to go, and still many things ahead. Like, we have been talked about the past for a lot. Let's try to talk about the future. Do you see yourself keeping up with video games content or video games world in general?
As long as I have time to, I'm gonna try at least. You know, like I kind of said before, this is like my stream is kind of just where I go to like just chill, play games, try to work towards some goals, and just hang out with anyone who wants to come hang out. So as long as I still have that, I don't see a reason to stop. So
So I guess it's. I'll take this as a yes. You didn't say yes, but I will translate it
yeah,
into a
Yeah, and
yes.
I'll always find new goals and new things I want to do. So I don't see myself going anywhere anytime soon.
All right, all right. But okay, now let's make a game. I'm probably going too much ahead, but where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like you told us about your situation now. Let's zoom out a little bit and go 5 years ahead of time. How do you see yourself?
If I'm being honest, I don't even have an answer. I don't really think that far ahead. I kind of like just try to survive each year at a time. I don't really think about what's farther ahead, but hopefully in 5 years I can like have something more stable work wise at least. Hopefully. I hope this game's still active and this community's still active in 5 years. That'd be really cool because it's already been going for a long time.
Yeah, like the chat is blaming me for being an HR guy that asks this kind of things, classic of a job interview. But I was curious. I mean, not setting, not having expectation, just for hoping for an overall improvement. It's it's not bad. It's fine. Like, I mean, situation hopefully will probably improve and it will be fine. So no particular goals to pursue, just general improvement. No goals like in middle to short term.
I mean, as long as things don't get worse, we can slowly just work towards things is all. I just like I've never had like a big goal of like what I want to do for like forever. I just kind of do things that I feel like when I feel like them. I'll just randomly start up something new and then do it for like 2 days and then forget about it. That's the kind of thing I do. I get attached to something really quickly and then it doesn't like I don't really get the long-term goals. I just kind of do something for the heck of it a lot of the time.
All right. So uh, one last question. One last question. Um, no, it's too stupid. The question I wanted to make. So I'll make another
Oh, you can
one.
ask. You can ask.
Which forbidden memories card are you?
One of my probably lab wall.
Love you.
No, no, I gotta think because it's I don't know. Maybe like no, I don't want to pick too good of a card because like I'm not too good, but I don't want to pick something like terrible. Probably like be something useful, but like not something amazingly game changing. I'll go Mindless Radiant. You're happy to see the beast in there. Has a lot of potential, like can do a lot of things. I don't know. Was that your stupid question or was that the good question?
Turned out to be the best question of the whole
All
interview. Oh
right.
my god.
All right.
That was just because of
Mindless
your
Radiant's good.
answer. Wow, thank you, Shira. You turned out this into an incredible interview.
Oh boy.
Okay. Now that was the jokey question that like I will bring that more. Like I will try to make it
Was that
seriously.
a tagger question? Was that a tagger question?
No, it was not a tag
No,
question,
okay.
but like,
Okay.
it was like I always do a joke near the end, and that was supposed to be the joke. But you also did an interesting answer. So 5 things you like about Forbidden Memories, even random facts. Come on, last question. Let's shoot 5 Forbidden Memories
5 things
aspects
I
you
like
like.
about FM. Um, I like the fun feeling when you win something rare, even if it's not useful. It's always fun. I play RuneScape. I chase rare drops, which sucks, but like there's always something to get excited about happening on screen. It's in the same way you get like there's usually something you've never seen before that happens every once in a while, which is cool. Um, I just like that the game's hard. It feels rewarding. Like you're always gonna learn more things and be more skilled. Um,
This looks too hard. Let's cut it to free. Go on with the This was a hard
I like
question. Oh my god.
MBD. I like MBD. He's pretty
Oh
cool.
yeah, I'm BD cool.
I like MBD.
You know what's my best card of Forbidden Memories? My favorite card? This.
Hulk Hogan. Ah, that one.
This is my favorite card. This is
Good card.
my second favorite. Hulk Hogan has always been my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh monster, which is always a Machamp, apparently, according to Syura.
6,000 attack points. Oh man.
Yeah, it's too strong. Also, guys, if you're wondering what are these cards, go go check the interview on YouTube when I'll upload it, because like Shura had to associate a Pokemon with all these Forbidden Memories cards. I mean, also this is a Forbidden Memories card. Typical Doraemon. And yeah, Shura, what else to say? Big thank you. Big thank you, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Who's going to be? I probably can't ask, but who's going to be the next guest?
Oh, well, you know what? This is a really good question because I already have the third guest. I think I
Cool.
will like tease a little bit, so maybe next week I'll announce the date, and probably the next 2 weeks I will be announcing the guest. But yeah, I will have an episode free. I already have an agreement. I cannot reveal it. I'm sorry, but it will be in July. The interview.
That's a good answer.
But yeah, I always.
Don't get too much out of you.
Yo, it has been a huge pleasure to have you here. Interesting question. Very chatty, very funny. I don't know what to say, Shura. Big thank you. Thanks for having took part of Boost Yourself. I think everybody got really enriched from what you said. Everybody has became a little better after hearing you. Me for sure, and I hope that also will this will help to show who the real Shura is to more people that maybe just see you in streams and can finally dig a little bit into very interesting aspect of your personality and your life and your career. Thank you very much, Shura.
Make sure to boost yourself with cheap viewers, followers, primes on twitch.tv/Layoso.
Thank you very much,
And then I got
Shura.
banned.
Thank you again, and wish you have a good day. See you soon.
I will try.
Bye bye, Shura. All right, guys. Wow, what an episode! What an episode! Um, hope you liked that. I added a background music because, like, you suggested me to put it. Feel free to give me feedbacks about that. Yeah, I hung up the call. I had to do the closing of this. Yeah, of course, guys. Thank you for watching. I honestly really appreciate you came here to step by and listen to the interview. Shura is incredible. You've listened to him. A lot of interesting aspects. Like, this guy did basically everything on the internet. He's incredible. And yeah, also some interesting aspects about like speedrunning. Also, the game was pretty funny. So yeah, feel free to give me a feedback. Exclamation mark Discord to join us on Discord and give us feedbacks. Honestly appreciated. Thank you for being here. This closes the second episode of Boost Yourself, and I can already tell you there will be the third one. I already have the guest, and I will be um, I will be announcing him soon. So stay here. Exclamation mark Shura. Follow Shura because, like, as you have already seen, he's incredible. And thank you again, guys. See you on the next stream, of course, and but also on the next episode of Boost Yourself.